Hello and welcome back to my channel. This video is about principles of bookkeeping controls, and today we are going to practice answering some exam questions about reconciling control accounts. Let's go to our example. The following informations are the balances of receivables of ABC Limited for the month of June. So these are the balances of the individual customer account. Letter A, what is the balance of the receivables ledger? It means we have to get the totals of all the individual customer accounts. Before we calculate, let's pay attention to whether these balances are debit balances or credit balances. The debit balances are positive balances, while the credit balances are negative balances. Now let's add all the debit balances and deduct all the credit balances. And we got 5,766. Let's enter here in the amount. Since we got a positive balance, it means the total of the debit balances are greater than the totals of the credit balances, then it should be debit. Next, letter B, the receivables ledger control account balance at 30th of June is 5,896. Complete the following statement. The receivables ledger control account is blank, more or less than the receivables. To answer this question, let's pretend this side of our screen is our blank paper. We can see that the balance of RLCA is different from the balance of the receivables. Our RLCA balance is 5,896, while our receivables is 5,766. So the difference will be 130. Let's answer 130 in here, and RLCA is higher than the receivables, so let's answer more than the receivables. Next, letter C, identify whether each of the following may explain the difference between the two balances. First, an invoice has not been recorded in the individual customer account. Before we proceed in answering this question, let's visualize our scenario first. In our blank paper here, let's write receivables and RLCA. Our receivables ledger control account, or RLCA, is more than the receivables, so I will mark this as high and the receivables as low. It's up to you how to mark them. You can use greater than and less than, or bigger and smaller. It's up to you which way is easier to use. It's just, for me personally, I prefer to use high and low. So let's go back to our first question. An invoice has not been recorded in the individual customer account. An invoice should be recorded in both receivables and RLCA. In this case, we did not record anything in the receivables, but we have recorded the invoice amount in RLCA. So it means our RLCA will be higher and our receivables will be lower. So this may explain the difference between the two balances. Next, a credit note was recorded twice in the purchases returns daybook. Let's analyze. It says here, purchases returns daybook. So the purchases returns daybook will be totaled at the end of the period and transferred to the PLCA, purchases and VAT account. Our scenario here is about the receivables and RLCA, so this may not explain the difference between the two balances. Next, cash sales has not been recorded. The cash sales are supposed to be recorded in the receipt side of the cash book. We have 4 columns in the receipt side of the cash book, which are bank, sales, VAT, and receivables. The cash sales are supposed to be recorded in the bank column, sales, and VAT. We do not record anything in the receivables column or in the individual customer account for cash sales. So whether we recorded the cash sales or not, it does not affect our receivables or RLCA, so it may not explain the difference. Next, payment from a credit customer has not been recorded in the cash book. The payment from the customers should be recorded in the receipt side of the cash book. Since this is a credit customer, we record in the bank column and the receivables column. After a period, the daybucks will be transferred to the general ledger, so this receivables column will be transferred to RLCA. RLCA is an asset, so it increases in debit. But the payment that we have received for our receivables will decrease RLCA, so it will go to credit. But since this payment for our receivables was not recorded in our cash book, therefore not recorded in our RLCA, it means this payment did not decrease our RLCA, so our RLCA remains higher than it's supposed to be. So if the RLCA is higher, the receivable will be much lower. So this means it may explain the difference between the two balances. And that's it for this video. I hope you find it useful. If you want to watch more videos like this, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.